Hi, this is Hunter. I am going to try to explain in as short a period of time as possible how to do screencasts of your computer screen or design lessons or presentations in which the visual part is what's happening on the desktop of your computer. So that's what a screencast is. It's what's happening right now. This is supposed to be the intro video where I'm going to outline how it is we're going to eventually get all this stuff working on your computer. So let me look at my little outline presentation on this workspace. And let's go to the top here. Okay, so not in this video, but I guess in a short subsequent video, I'm going to talk about more about what screencasting is and give some examples of some people who are using it. What got me interested in it is this website called khanacademy.com, which is a really great resource for your students if you're a teacher. It has lots of short videos on lots of topics, and the teaching is very good. It's very high quality, and it's really an amazing resource for your classes. Um, so uh, this second bullet point here is just about looking at different software options. So there happens to be, a big comparison of them on Wikipedia, so that's worth looking at. What I'm going to talk about is how to accomplish these things using Ubuntu Linux, because that's just the way I've figured out how to do it over the last couple of days. And it has a couple of advantages. One, it's absolutely free, or at least the software is free. You could see in my picture in the video, I'm wearing a headset on my head, and that costs money. And I also have a little touchpad that I'm going to use to draw, and so that costs something too. But in terms of the software, it's totally free. And I think using Linux will probably give you the maximum amount of control. I doubt that there's an easy way to do this from the command line in Windows. And so the disadvantages, the disadvantages of doing anything with Linux is that nobody has Linux. So you have to actually get the program, and so it's a little scary because you have to partition your hard drive, and that seems like kind of a scary thing, and theoretically you could lose some of your data. It's never happened to me, and I've partitioned many hard drives, so I think it's fair, it's a safe thing to do, and it's really not that hard. It's much easier than it used to be, and Linux is much better than it used to be too. So the particular way that I'm going to explain how to do this is a little bit technical in the sense that you have to enter some commands on the command line, and so I am not including that in the solution just for the sake of making it difficult. I tried to accomplish this some other ways, and the only way that finally worked, there are lots of different programs that purport to do screen capture on Linux, but amazingly all of them are flawed in some way that makes them unusable, and it's a different flaw for every pseudo solution. But okay, so I have found a way to get it working by using other people's reports on the internet on how to get it working. So I will talk about where those are and what I did. So here's basically the plan for doing for making your own screencasts. Everything that I'm going to be talking about is with respect to Ubuntu 10.10. So this is a fairly major update over the 8.x series that had been the most common distribution of Ubuntu until I guess maybe a year ago or something. So the things that I say to do will not work, possibly for older versions of the operating system. On the other hand, 10.10 is the most recent one, and it's what you'll get if you download the operating system from Canonical, and so it seems like the best point of view to start from. You also have to install this program, and so this is where the command line stuff comes in, because the things that I've read on the internet say that you should compile this on your computer, and that's what I did. I don't know if there's a way to get it working without compiling the code yourself, but certainly that has worked for me, and it's really not that hard. So the trivial thing you have to do is install the program that we're looking at right now, where you just draw, and it has some tools and things that facilitate drawing, and so this is where I plan to do my lessons. There are other programs that you could use. You could use really any drawing program whatsoever. So it is going to require a little bit of hardware, unfortunately. I guess you could use a mouse, but it would be kind of messy. At least with a, even without this drawing pad that I'm using, you could still use software on your computer, right? You could still, if you had, well, the Linux equivalent of Maple is this program called Sage. And there are things that you could do that you wouldn't need to draw for necessarily, like maybe you could talk about function transformations or something, you know, um, or whatever. Okay, so one can imagine doing screencasting lessons that do not involve drawing, I guess. It's hard, it's more hard to imagine a screencast that doesn't involve talking. So probably you'll have to get a microphone, but that's cheap. Also, the built-in microphone works to some extent, but I found it fuzzy and kind of, you know, unusably fuzzy. Um, so getting the drawing pad working on Ubuntu is kind of an adventure in and of itself, but if you go directly to the correct solution on the internet, it shouldn't be very much trouble. And another trivial step is just to upload the ultimate result to YouTube, which is very simple. Okay, so how much time and treasure is all this nonsense going to take? So here I had kind of a, an optimistic estimate of how much time it would take to do all these things. If you're an experienced computer user, I guess if you already have Linux, this A is putting Ubuntu on your computer, so this could be 0. If you go really slowly and you like to poke around and make sure you're doing everything carefully and then do a little exploration too, it'll take a little bit longer. But it's really a fast process. You could do it in 15 minutes, and I have done it in 15 minutes before. The second thing is install ffmpeg. So the reason that I put 30 minutes here is because I compiled the program from source. There are other ways to put the program on your computer that will take less than half an hour. So this is really conservative, I guess. But like I said, I don't know if the pre-built version has all the functionality. And so putting the program journal with an X on your computer is very easy. That should only take a minute. And how to get the bamboo pad working? Well, okay, so it took me a while, but I think if you go straight to the place in the Ubuntu forums where it explains how to do it, it's going to be very easy and very short. And so what is D? I don't even remember. Upload to YouTube. Okay, so you just need to create a user account on YouTube, which you might already have, and upload the video, and it's really simple. So that's 5 minutes. So the least amount of time it could possibly take is about an hour and a quarter, and the most it will take is 3.5 hours or something like that. So my computer is slowing down, probably because I'm running this video. Okay, sorry, I had a little technical issue with my very old computer, and I think I had just said that the time required to do this whole process will in the worst case be 3.5 hours and in the best case be an hour and a quarter. So that's the time cost, and now what is the actual monetary cost? It depends on whether you already have a bamboo pad or would like one, or plan to do maybe screencasts that don't require a bamboo pad. Or if you have grant money that could pay for this kind of thing, I guess it would be free. But the equipment that I'm using is a Wacom bamboo pad, and it costs between $100 and $200. And I'm also using a microphone Skype headset, and I believe it costs about $35. So that's it for the outline, and in the next video I'm going to start going over the first points from the outline in more detail. And I will see you there.